What is up, guys? We are back with another euphoric episode 7. I am Tyler Hosley,
Yeah.
by the way. I almost forgot that.
They know. Both of our listeners know. They know
Yes, it's
you.
true.
Yeah, episode 7. We're running a little bit late, but it's worked out for the best because you're gonna get 3 episodes this week, and this will be the middle one out on Tuesday. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So Tyler, yeah,
Yes.
go ahead. Let us know what you thought of episode 7.
So, episode 7.
Dude,
I
you
can't
didn't
believe we're.
introduce yourself.
Oh, they know. I'm Craig. As
At least pretend to be semi-professional. If I have to listen to you bitches, pretend to be semi-professional.
Hi, I am Craig Pay, as Tyler said. Tyler called me for like the first 5 years of the podcast, I think. Craig Pay, and yeah, episode 7.
Dave is our
Professional.
Dave is our angel and devil on the shoulder. He just pops in every once in a while when we're doing something wrong. He's right there.
Yeah. If you ever
You'll
want
hear
to
him
do
pop
like
up.
hard facts about anything, or interesting facts, or just anything vaguely professional or grown up, then Dave will just come in and ruin our childish vibes.
It's true. It's true. Shit, I can't remember names of anything, so I just kind of, just I go to Dave for that kind of stuff. But
Yeah. Same.
so episode 7. Jesus Christ, this went by so fucking fast. So this one opens with another backstory. This time it's Ali, played by the always, wonderful Coleman Domingo. It's another really strong opening here too, though, like showing Ali's struggles with addiction and his family, and eventually his sobriety and his faith, and how he becomes a sponsor to people who lost their lives to addiction and suicide as well. But I really loved seeing Natasha Lyonne pop up in this episode. I didn't know
Same.
she was in this. I totally forgot she was casted in this season, and I love that she pops up in here. She doesn't have a very big role. She's maybe 2 minutes of screen time, but she's good, and she's always good. Love Natasha Lyonne.
And
But
she has good fun chemistry with Coleman Domingo as well.
she does. She really does. I love the little boxing scene where she's like playing the narrator over the boxing. She was really good.
Oh,
She's
that's
awesome.
fucking
I
great
love her.
scene.
So good. But yeah, I just love seeing her pop up. But Coleman Domingo is, like I said, is wonderful in this opening. And the scene that really stuck with me was after he had his open heart surgery, and the nurse is trying to give him a morphine IV, and he's like, "Don't put that shit in me," and he just starts
Yeah.
fucking bawling. Yeah, that was some truly powerful shit, because yeah, I mean, it shows you that. I know there's a lot of naysayers against Levinson, but it really shows you that Levinson does understand the struggles with addiction, because from what I've read and heard, I think he struggled with addiction for many years, which makes the portrayal feel even more authentic. So yeah, it's a great little scene, and Coleman Domingo just fucking rocks it. His cry is just brutal to watch.
Well,
Horrendous.
that hospital bed scene has had me sweating since the first season 3 trailer. So I didn't know
Mhm.
where that was going to come in. I thought, what the fuck's going to happen? I was glad it was a flashback,
Yeah,
because otherwise something fucked up was going to happen. But I was really glad that was a flashback.
yeah, because I was the same way, because I kept seeing that in the trailer, and I'm like, did he relapse? What the fuck happened? What is going on with Ali?
Mm.
Because I really thought that was going to be his demise as well, because he's an ex-addict, and for a second there, I didn't know if the opening was a flashback. Like, I had no idea, so I'm like, shit, is he back on drugs? But then I saw his family and stuff, so then I realized what was going on. But it took me a second to realize that it was just a backstory on Ali.
I wonder if Coleman Domingo has any history of addiction, because obviously, God damn it, her name's going to escape me because I didn't write it down. Natasha Lyonne obviously has
Yeah.
her own history of addiction, and she plays it very well. Like, it's coming from memory and it's coming from experience, but it feels that way with Coleman Domingo. But maybe it's just that he's a great fucking actor, because he really is a great fucking actor.
Yeah, he really is. He's really good, and he really this opening scene with him in there is he's just, I mean, he's always phenomenal. So I can't just say he's just great in one particular scene. He's great in this whole fucking show, but man, he's so
Yeah,
good in this. He's just so good.
it was a rough
So
fucking scene, man. Like, you don't think you think about COVID, and you think about just people getting sick from COVID, and you don't think of the thousands and thousands of like other types of victims of COVID who, COVID's body count was horrendous, and it must have
Mm-hmm.
been really tough for people who, especially people who are like fresh, you know, clean, trying their
Mm-hmm.
best, and then suddenly all of their support networks are fucking gone. Hence, Ali's Book of Names.
Oh yeah, that
It's
book of names.
it's bleak. It's really co- I don't know. So someone's gonna, do more stuff. I'm sure there'll be more stuff about COVID in the future. We'll get even more of an insight into the fucking body count that being had. But yeah, this shined a little bit of a light on it for me in ways that I hadn't thought about.
COVID was a rough time for a lot of people. I mean, it was bad for mental health for some people. It was just that was a really
Mm,
bad time in the world for just not just to catch COVID, but just mental health and just everybody. It was a bad time for the world. Just horrible, horrible.
yeah,
It's kind of the reasons why I try like how it's portrayed in Euphoria doesn't really bother me because it's portrayed so little, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's kind of the reason why I don't really like COVID in entertainment. If that makes sense, like
I do. I do.
it's that one. There was a movie that I think Kevin Williamson wrote. Oh my god, it was called Sick, I think. Right?
Yeah,
It was a
I
slasher.
don't
Yeah, it
know.
was like
Yeah,
it really took me out because I'm like I just couldn't find entertainment in watching COVID. So I'm just like I just can't do this. But the movie was okay. It's for some reason I don't find it entertaining to watch it. It's the same way I
I
don't
get you.
find like disease movies about diseases entertaining either. You know what I mean? And not that it needs
Yeah,
to
I
be.
know.
It shouldn't be. But I just little my own little pet peeve of stuff. But there's
Yeah,
still
I get
good.
it. I get it. I don't see any real value in like people, people dying of horrible diseases in films, especially if the film focuses on that. I don't see the benefit of it other than people chasing awards and chasing prestige because the films just tend to be very manipulative, and I'm just not into it.
Oh yeah, most of them are, which is a shame because it's a touchy subject and it could be done well, but some people just don't know how to take it. Nicholas Sparks, for example, just yeah,
Yeah,
bad example.
it's either that or they're big on grief at the moment. Lots of really terrible movies about someone whose partner has died and dealing with their grief. Lots of cheesy, manipulative shit about that at the moment.
Yep, tons of that right now too.
I saw a trailer for one, and it's all the girlies meet up because what's her name? She was married to Ben Affleck, the other Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer
Her
Garner.
husband's died, and she invites all the girlies, and they're trying to make her feel better. And she goes, she's like, I'm so sad. And one of them goes, well, you know what's good for depression? She goes, what? What did she say? What did she say? Oh, screw top Pinot Gris, and the shudder of like, ugh.
It's just so bad.
Ugh. So that's what I call those movies now. I call them Screw Top Pinot Gris.
Oh, shit. If you're gonna tackle something like grief, at least do it with like some respect. Like there's a movie called
Mm,
Rabbit Hole with Nicole Kidman and I think Aaron Eckhart. Like that handles
yeah,
grief about losing a child really well, but it's done respectfully, very respectively. You know what I mean? Not fucking not like that with that Jennifer Gardner shit. But people watch it, so hey, what can I say?
they do. They do. The Pinot Gris
So
girls.
that's sad, but yes, it exists.
Sorry, that's Euphoria. We've travelled in a whole different direction there.
Yes, we did. So after the
Oh wait, no,
past,
no, 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 one more. I'm sorry, because
oh, you're good.
the
Go
Coleman
for it.
Domingo scene. It had my favourite line in the episode, which is where Natasha Lyonne says to him, "Diet," and he says, "Pussy and crack cocaine," and it just really made me laugh. And it was just quite funny having Coleman Domingo say that he's into pussy when we just, we know you're not Coleman Domingo, but you just, for a second I believed it. That's how good of an actor you are.
It's funny because there's very few comedic moments in these last couple episodes of this show, but yeah, that
Mm,
was that line made me laugh like hard. Yeah, Coleman Domingo's great. Love him.
yeah,
But that was a great little backstory on him. I'm happy we finally got a backstory on Ali too because
yeah.
it's we haven't got one. And this is the first one, so after that, we get a little scene with Alamo and Big Eddie because Big Eddie survived the shooting in the strip club, and now he's all stitched up in the stomach, and he's got like a colostomy bag. And Alamo being the most uncaring person ever. Dude just doesn't give a fuck. He's poking at his stitches with a fucking, what was that, with a pen? I think it was a pen or a pencil. And
Yeah.
talking about how his bag's fucking disgusting to look at, and he wants, yeah, it's just, you know, I really liked Alamo at the beginning of this before I kind of knew who he was, but as the show goes on, I'm like, Alamo is just a fucking evil piece of shit. But that's just
Yeah,
that's him.
he's vile. But Adewale is absolutely phenomenal in the role.
Oh, brilliant, amazing, one of my favorite performances of the year, and that includes movies, shows, but he's incredible.
Yeah.
But he wants Big Eddie to drive the ambulance down to Mexico with some girls to get like cheap Mexican plastic surgery because it's cheap down there, I guess. And then, but they're also, you know, they're also hauling fentanyl for Lori. So yeah, that's just, it gets double things done: cheap
Yep.
plastic surgery and fentanyl hauling. So, but after that scene, we get to the scene that's getting Lexi all kinds of random hate on the internet for some apparent
Yeah.
reason whatsoever, which is we talked about this already, just kind of on Messenger, but it's just
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
So,
people are telling on themselves with not liking Lexi because they're talking about how she thinks she's so great and da, da, da. I know just because your self esteem is low, you know, you don't. They're looking for this. This one person is the most moral and decent and upright person in the show, so they're looking for a reason to attack them.
mhm.
And I just don't see it. Like everyone else does the most horrendous things, and she just makes some boundaries for herself. All she does.
I adore Lexi. I will never understand the hate that she gets as a character. She is just the most normal angel character that this show has. So it's like I don't get it. I never will. I mean, in the scene that I'm referring to, she's in the apartment with Rue, and the girl's just trying to like write her script for LA Nights. I mean, she's actually got like normal shit going on in her life, and you got Rue over in the corner just spewing random shit about how God spoke to her and the burning Joshua tree and working with Nazis and the DEA. This
Black
isn't like
cowboys, murdered
Black
parrots.
Cowboys. Yes, this isn't Lexi being an uncaring friend. This is her realizing her friends are just all fucked up, and what am I doing? That's what Lexi's
Yeah.
realizing. Um,
And she doesn't, even though it becomes something in this episode where Rue mentions the DEA, which leads on to other things. She doesn't even say she's undercover with the DEA. She says she is working for the Drug Enforcement Agency,
mhm.
which just sounds like another, like, drug-addled, like, fantasy, I
Yeah.
absolutely get why Lexi thought she was just full of nonsense, because if you were to give her, take any of these characters from Euphoria and say, "Oh, this is what happened to me today," and just say what happened to one of the characters in Euphoria, I'd be like, "That did not happen to you today."
Hmm.
It's almost like nobody lives like this. Nobody lives like people in Euphoria. It's unbelievable.
It's funny because if someone like Rue, I was talking to have a conversation with someone like, and I love Rue, and I don't want to knock on Rue. I love
Yeah.
Rue, but if someone was like, I was sitting in a room with talking to someone like Rue, and she started saying that I'm working for the DEA. I'd be like, girl, you were just fucking going down the street with a fucking drug suitcase on your bike. There's no there's no way you're working for the DEA.
No.
But fucking Rue. But yeah, like I said, she doesn't need these people in her lives, and just I don't know. The hate for her is unwarranted at the moment, but I don't know. I don't. You can't reason with the internet sometimes, and that's just where we are. But I love Lexi, and I'll defend her forever.
Yeah. Same.
So after that, we head over to the Maddie and Cassie storyline. Cassie is now being held hostage by Nas and his crew, or Naz. I almost said Nas, like the rapper Naz. But so Cassie does not get the part in LA Nights because the higher ups on the network don't want a sex worker taking the role, which is ridiculous, but that's my own thing. Um, and she since deleted her OnlyFans, so she deleted her OnlyFans for the particular part, and now she has no money coming in at all from OnlyFans or anything because she deleted the account, and that
Yeah.
that sets off Maddie. Maddie is fucking pissed now. Just I love that little scene with Maddie just cracking her fingers and Cassie, asking her if she wants to hit her, and Maddie's like, "I fucking want to," and then slaps the shit out of her. Just like, God,
So yeah, I fucking want to. Oh, hang on, I can.
I love Maddie so much. I love Alexa Deming. I love her portrayal of Maddie. She's just so good. I know I say that every episode, but she's just wonderful. But
When she gets fired, and the only thing she says is "thank you for the opportunity," and she's
mhm.
one of the only characters who would just take a breath and say the right thing instead of just losing their shit and screaming and freaking out. You know, she just takes a breath. She's not happy. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yep,
You
she
know,
takes a breath
she's
and
not into burning bridges.
she just moves on. She just goes on with her life, tries to figure something else out. That's why I like her. I mean, Maddie can freak out, trust me, but she freaks out at the right moments, not the wrong moments. That's what I love about her.
Yeah.
But so Maddie now sets up this whole date with Cassie and Dylan Reed, the star of LA Nights. She, but they're trying to get Cassie's clout back. So she calls TMZ, and they get like full on paparazzi at dinner. And Cassie brings Dylan back to her place, and they fucking probably the funniest scene in this dark ass episode. Like Cassie
Yeah.
screaming, Cassie screaming she's coming again, and Dylan says, "Not fucking coming. I need water." That made me laugh so fucking hard.
I was saying like the pussy and crack cocaine was my favorite line, but no, my favorite line was actually "stop coming" because she's gonna break his hips.
Yeah, how he needs water just right in the middle of it. But dude, that dude gets up and gets some fucking water, so he must have been thirsty as fuck. Fucking.
Oh yeah. But I like Cassie throughout that whole scene. Like when she's in the car and they say, "Who are you?" She doesn't just give her name to the TMZ guys. She gives her handle. You know, her online handle.
Yep.
She is on that. She's on the grind now. She's not fucking about.
Yeah, no, that whole date with fucking Dylan is just a her on the grind. Like, I
Mm.
doubt she came once and during that
Oh
fucking
God, no,
during that
no.
sex, but you know, she
She had
sold
a
it
whole
well.
performance to put on. She can't be fucking about coming when she's got this whole performance to put on, which is just fucking wild.
But after that, Dylan does go to the kitchen and get some ice water. So he pulls some ice out of the freezer, which has Nate's finger in it, which is also kind of funny. Actually, it's gross but funny. But yeah, he ends up taking like a full glass of ice, and Nate's finger is just like it's in the cup with ice, and it's just it's hysterical. But so during all this, Cassie steals Dylan's phone and opens his Instagram and posts the picture of them together with the caption calling Cassie the world's greatest fuck, which brings all the attention right back to Cassie in the world of the internet. So she got exactly what she wanted out of this, and it worked perfectly for her. Not so much for Dylan, but it worked perfectly for her.
Yeah.
But after that, Rue visits Ali, and we get a great scene with these two together again. I love these two together. But she tells him all about Alamo and the shit she's into with the DEA and trafficking fentanyl. And there's a great line in this scene that shows how much that Levinson just hates the very existence of fentanyl. Just Ollie's line of the thing about fentanyl is why kill the customer, which is something these fucking drug dealers I don't think will ever understand because fentanyl is a big thing going on in the world right now. It's fucking huge,
Yeah.
and it is killing a lot of fucking people, and it's a tragedy actually. But these dealers are actually killing the people that's keeping them fed, which is just horrible. It's a horrible fucking thing what's going on in the world right now with this fucking drug. But just you can tell Levinson just hates it with a burning passion. So
Yeah, it's a legitimate crisis like the opioid crisis has been. It's horrendous. It's not as horrendous as the police make it out to be when they find out they've been in the same room as some fentanyl, so they just collapse and start pretending to have seizures on the floor because there's some fentanyl like 30, 30 meters away from them, and they're being
Fentanyl is
dramatic
part
about
of
it.
the opioid crisis, and the fact that we pretend it isn't is why it will never get better. We're on the third wave of the opioid crisis, and none of the other two even slacked a little. So
I didn't know it was an opioid. It's weird that they're talking about it being imported, but I've been watching The Pit recently, and they use it in hospital all the fucking time. So I'm surprised it needs to be imported in those quantities. I'm sure it's not. I'm surprised it's not easier to just steal or make fake medical, you know, orders, or I don't know. Wouldn't seem like you'd have to go to Mexico to get it. I don't know. They
Not
use
to
fentanyl a lot, and they use what's the horse tranquilizer?
Even medical fentanyl comes from China and Mexico. That's why
Ah,
even legal fentanyl use
I get you.
has to come through the borders. That's why it gets smuggled in easy large quantities.
not to get too personal with stuff, but I mean, as you guys know this, not everyone else knows this, but my mom was very, very sick, and back in like the when it was getting towards the end, they gave her fentanyl patches, like the patches they put on, you can put on your back, and it kind of like
Yeah,
releases it slowly. But this is towards the very, very end. But when I had to put that on, I had to put like gloves on and everything they told me to put on. So I'm like, yeah, I guess you have to be like super, super careful with this shit. So it is super
yeah,
strong. But yeah, I used to have to put gloves on and like wash my hands like fucking just like I was going on to surgery after I touched it. So yeah, it's pretty strong shit.
yeah. See, I also don't get the kill the customer thing. I don't know what. Apparently, it's to try and make you know bad heroin seem like good heroin by putting a tiny amount in, but they're not doing their maths ain't working out because they're just killing people left, right, and centre.
Hmm. I mean, they're also lacing other drugs with
Mm,
fentanyl now. Like, obviously, we'll see shortly. But yeah, they lace everything with fentanyl now. It's like scary out there for people that are addicts. So, not a PSA
definitely,
or
yeah.
anything, but be careful out there, people. If you do have issues, just be careful.
I
But
wouldn't touch anything but weed and mushrooms these days. I wouldn't touch it because I don't know what the fuck is in it. You know.
mhm. Yeah, that's the smart thing for sure. But I'll stick with Rue for a minute now. She's got to go back to working for Lori and the Nazis because Alamo is setting up a robbery using Rue. But the one thing I want to talk about because I thought this scene was fucking incredible. I got to talk about the Nazi bonfire really quick. I love this fucking scene. It is so beautifully shot, and it has the perfect song choice with Zor's Entrance of the Devil like blasting in the background as the Nazis are dancing and shooting off machine guns in the sky. The cinematography in this scene is truly incredible. Craig, you mentioned the scene where like Rue is sitting on the chair and the fire is just like behind her head the whole
Yeah,
time. It's a gorgeous shot. This
yeah,
whole
it's
scene is
beautiful
just
shot.
stunning. Gorgeous. This whole season is fucking gorgeous, but that scene, it looks stunning, and the music is just
Lloyd's place is just this kind of it's sort of apocalyptic, isn't it? It looks like the end of the world.
it does.
So once you've got the fires going, it really does look apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's a great scene, and it's a shame they're Nazis because I kind of love every scene that they're in, but they're such horrible fucking people, and just yeah, it's a great scene. That bonfire scene is amazing. But so after that, let's get to the most brutal shit in this episode thus far. The most talked about thing in episode 7, the demise of Mr. Nate Jacobs. Look, Nate is a piece of shit. We've said this so many times for 7 episodes now. But
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, did he really deserve this death? I don't think so. This was just horrendous, brutal. Just Naz locking him in a fucking coffin, tied up, and a rattlesnake getting into the coffin and biting his ass in the face. Look,
oh
yeah, just what a horrendous way to fucking go. First of all, I'd be claustrophobic as fuck in there. I couldn't take it. I hate being in tight spaces anyway. I couldn't even imagine. It would just then a snake getting in there. I don't like snakes either, so I couldn't even fucking imagine. Hopefully that fucking venom worked fast. They didn't have to fucking suffer too long. But
there was one really dumb moment where you see the snake in the coffin and it's clearly a python, like a rattlesnake's gone down the hole, and then there's a giant python in the box. And I get they don't
yes,
want to have a rattlesnake biting the fuck out of their expensive actor, but it didn't look good. It was very obviously a completely different snake.
yeah, it was. And in the making of right after the episode, they mentioned that too. They wanted to put a real snake in there, a real what is it called? A rattlesnake with them, but obviously you can't do that. You can't stick a fucking rattlesnake in with a stunt actor or a fucking any
No.
actor. So
I mean,
yes,
even
they
if
said,
you like, what's it? Even if you like, what do they call it? They drain their venom. They
oh, devenomize them.
even if you milk them, you know, you
Yeah,
can't. You still don't want it like biting your star on the face.
no, and it's in the making of. They said that they strapped on a fake rattle to a python and put him in the coffin with them. But yes, they mentioned it, which is they mentioned it because it was so obviously a python. I'm sure, so they had to do it. But he also got
Yeah.
like a lot. Yeah, you can tell it was a python because that snake got a lot fatter in 2 seconds too. So yes, it was
Yeah.
definitely a python. But yeah, I mean the effects still work though because that little when he fucking started to snarl that snake and just bites in the face and just cuts to black. I'm like, oh my god, what a fucking way to go. Fucking never thought I'd feel sorry for Nate, but my god.
I did not expect. They kept showing shots around it, not including his face. I thought, okay, they're not going to show his face because it's too horrific. And then you get that close up, just
Oh
that
my god.
straight, dead on close up, and it is horrifying.
Yeah, the swollen face and the tongue sticking out it was horrible. Yeah, just
Mm.
yeah, this is where the humor stops in Euphoria from here on out. This is where it just gets dark as fuck just for the whole remainder of the show. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was somehow even worse than I could ever possibly imagined a death for Nate. Like we were joking about calling him Boxing Nate, like Boxing Elena. How it'd be funny. But my God, this is 10 times worse. I don't know. I
I
think
mean, he did go in a box.
he did. He did. He wasn't limbless, unfortunately. So yeah, it's just yeah, it was a horrible death. And
We were
Jacob
halfway
Elordi,
there.
Jacob Elordi rocked it. So great. He's a good
Yeah.
actor. And just I mean, there's only one episode left after this anyway. But yeah, he will be missed in this show, even though the show's over now. So we'll see. But
Yeah.
so let's get to the finale of this episode. Which honestly, this final scene had me sweating fucking actual bullets. So Maddie works out a deal with Alamo to pay the ransom for Nate. But question right off the top here: did Maddie fuck Alamo in that jacuzzi? Like, do you think she did?
Um. Uh. I could say probably. Probably.
Yeah, I think so. I think she did. I think that was the only way for her to get that money. So, and
Yeah.
for Alamo to actually agree to it. So, yeah, I think she did. Which I, yeah, I understand why she had to do it. I just didn't want her to do it. So, but
No.
they left it
Yeah, but
implied, so it's up in the air.
there's. I don't believe at all that Maddie did it for Nate. He did it for Cassie because
Yes, she
I
did.
don't know if it was the last episode or the one before where Cassie said, "Oh, you're my best friend," and she sort of looked at her and was like, "Really?" Like, I took it as you must have closer friends than me. We hate each other, but maybe there was a little bit of, "Wow, after all of the shit we've been through, you still think of me as your best friend." And I think maybe that was a little something that started, moving back in that direction and realizing, she still had a lot of love for Cassie.
hmm and I, well, this is for the next episode, but I guess a little bit of spoiler. But I think that kind of we'll see that in the next episode. We'll get to that soon. But yeah, I will mention that.
Yeah.
But so the shootout between Naz and Alamo was actually, I mean, that's not really a shootout, but it was just a one-sided shootout. But that was great. Just Alamo, just cold-blooded, just taking that motherfucker out. Like I hated Naz, so I was rooting for Alamo in this situation, which I won't root for Alamo anymore in the show, but in this scene I was, so because I wanted to see Naz taken out. And but yeah, you mentioned it, that reveal when they opened up the fucking coffin and just see Nate's swollen, just bloated dead body. Horrible, horrific, brutal.
Yeah.
But so this episode ends with Rue and Faye going down into Wayne's Nazi bedroom and opening up the safe in Wayne's room to get the money out. And Wayne's like sleeping like 2 feet away, and it turns out in the safe there's like no money in there at all, just a bunch of driver's licenses of the girls working at the club or who were working at the club. Which that implied that they're being trafficked. Am I right? Or are they just dead and they put them in a safe? Because
Traffic's all dead, but
yeah,
yeah, Alamo definitely needed those IDs back because they suggested something awful.
yeah, it was either like they're dead or they're being trafficked in another country right now that we just don't know about. But it's awful either way. So
I mean, you'll make more money with trafficking them, so I expect they're trafficked.
yes, and then you saw what's her name's in there, Angel's driver's license. That made me sad because I loved Angel as a character.
Yeah.
But that was Rue's realization of what the fuck Alamo actually is. So we needed that scene. But right before the credits roll, Faye just freaks the fuck out because there's no money in the safe, and she just screams Wayne's name, and then cut the credits, and that is the end of episode 7. I No, I was saying I don't think I missed anything though. Like I'm trying to think. I don't think I missed anything in episode 7. I think I got everything, but I just wanted to double check to make sure I didn't forget any scenes in the episode.
Nope, no scenes. I don't think. First off, because you just mentioned it, a lot of people have been like, people are very like they're picking characters like fuck this character. This character is the worst one. This character is evil. It's like they need to calm down a little bit. None of these characters are really like. Well, Alamo's evil, but
Hmm.
generally they're not evil. And people are really harsh on Faye for screaming at the end of the episode. Faye is a moron. I think you have to give Faye a lot of leeway for being the stupidest fucking person on
Yeah.
the earth. You know, she's gonna fuck things up for everyone because she is phenomenally fucking stupid, and she's not thinking any of this shit through. She's just reacting in the moment and just doing whatever. There's no point hating Faye. You know, she's a moron.
Yeah, I don't see how anyone could hate Faye. I don't see it because exactly she's just her character is just completely moronic, and that's the way she's written. So yeah, I just don't see how you can
Yeah,
ever hate that character.
no. Well, I'm with you on most of these things. There are two terrible bits of writing in his episode. I'm sorry, T. You're
It's
gonna
all
have
right.
to hear about them because
It's
I'm
all
gonna
right.
complain about them.
It's all right.
First one, Maddie. Like, okay, when Lexi hears about the DEA and passes that information on to Maddie, like, oh, she's talking rubbish about black black cowboys and Nazis and the DEA. I can see why she would pass it on to Maddie as like, you know. So this is I've been talking to Rude. This is sort of nonsense you should be saying. There's no way Maddie would say that pass that on to Alamo. That's moving the story forward. She is not telling Alamo that under any circumstances. She's too
Yeah.
savvy to like be talking out of school like that.
Yeah.
So that's a bad bit of writing. But the second one, which is going to involve a spoiler for the next episode, but suck it because it's not even a major spoiler really. But when Alamo kills Ali, and
Mm-hmm.
Ali starts talking in Armenian to that heavy who's been mutilating Nate, and he starts jabbering to him in Armenian. He talks back in Armenian. Now, if you're Alamo, you kill the heavy as well instantly. Like they're passing the information back and forth. One of
Mm-hmm.
them's being given instructions on how you would assume on how to like avenge him. So I'd be like, okay, now you need to die, and I'd shoot him as well. I think even under any circumstances, if they didn't say a word to each other, like I've just killed this guy's boss, I'm killing him as well. You know?
No, no, yeah, I agree. I do agree there. I couldn't believe that they actually left him alive. Like Alamo, the character of Alamo would actually never do that. So
No.
it's kind of shocking that they did. But I agree there for 100%.
But it leads on to nothing. That's a spoiler for the next season. We don't see that heavy again. The chat in Armenian between the two of them. We never find out what that's about, and it's just. I'll talk about the next episode, but it's just one of like a few too many loose ends for me. But it was frustrating that they had that conversation. I'm thinking, well, how's that? How's that going to figure in the last episode? And it
Hmm.
doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Otherwise, I really liked the episode. I really loved Maddie and Cassie becoming closer again. I loved Colin Domingo. He's such a fucking good actor, and I mean he's good in quite like an old school way, like an actor you'd see doing great work in the fucking 70s, man. He can go quite big with stuff and go quite big with emotions and really not feel like he's overacting. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he's one of those actors who can like just take things a little bit further and still be authentic. And I love that guy. He's so fucking good. Every time he pops up, I'm like, yes, Coleman Domingo. Love Lexi, like you said. I'm always going to be Team Lexi. Other than that, we have had many discussions about who might be undercover, but I guess we'll leave that conversation till next episode because it's just a lot less people than we were guessing. Because we thought there were about a dozen of them.
It was none of the people we were guessing. Just spoiler alert, it was not a single person we were guessing. So yeah, it was.
No.
I was like way off on some of my guesses, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we were terrible. I do this sort of shit all the time, though. I mean, I've sat and watched films with Stephanie, and I thought, well, I've been within the first 20 minutes, like I've got the twist. I've worked out the twist of this film, and at the end, there isn't a twist. I'm like, okay, I've got to stop doing that. I've got to just like just watch a movie unfold. I can't be like guessing at everything. But that's just the way my brain works. It's always, it
Yeah.
doesn't relax very much. My brain.
No, I love to try to
Yeah.
guess twists in movies. I'm just not very good at guessing the twists in movies. You know, it's so I just end up like mentioning it to myself and pretending I didn't even say anything. But yes, I did think about twists. I think about twists all the time in movies, and most of the time they don't exist. So
Yeah. Oh, good. You do it as well. Then. That's fine.
oh yeah, you should have saw me watching Knock at the Cabin, thinking there was gonna be some fucking M Night Shyamalan twist. And that movie's a piece of shit. But I was like, maybe a twist that's coming is gonna be like shocking. It's gonna like just save this movie. And no, that was just a horrible piece of shit with no twist. So sometimes I like his twists. I like The Village and all that stuff. But Knock at the Cabin is such a horrible fucking movie. He's been on like a downward spiral for many years, but Knock at the Cabin and fucking Old, and I think I'm kind of done with M Night Shyamalan, to be honest with you. But
I actually have a real soft spot for The Visit, to the point where The Visit's one of my favourites of his now. It's probably
I forgot that one.
Signs, and then The Visit, then
Okay,
Unbreakable, and the rest I can do without.
I'll give you The Village. I mean the Visit. That movie made me laugh more than most comedies. The little brother in that movie is fucking hilarious. The little rapping brother.
He is.
That made me laugh so hard. I totally forgot he made that movie. It doesn't feel very M
Yes.
Night, so it's probably the reason why.
It doesn't.
But
Signs is a big old mess, but I think it's a good one.
yeah, no, it's good. I love Signs. I like a lot of his early stuff. He kind of lost me after Lady in the Water and stuff, and just kind of stopped following him there for a while. But
Old is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and it's like full of like actors that you like. Like, oh, there's an actor who is a good actor. I know this person's a good actor, and they're giving the most horrific performances. You're like, how has he done this? Is he just saying cut until they're awful enough? How does he? I don't know how he does it.
I've been wondering that for many years. The most stilted performances in every M Night Shyamalan movie ever. I don't know how it's possible, but he can do it. So
Good for him, eh?
But yeah, that was
great.
Great episode. The last two episodes are here have been fantastic, and I'm gonna miss this show dearly when it's over. So I'll mention that more when we get to the finale. But
yeah, I think it's the best rated episode of the season. I don't know if it's my favourite, but it's up there. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good one for sure.
All right, T, do you want to give them the business? Which you'll be
I
doing
would.
twice tonight?
I would love
No, you
to.
won't. Well, yeah,
We're on Instagram, Raiders_of_the_podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and comment on Kevin's awesome videos. We have a Discord. We have a Blue Sky. You can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com.
Woo! All right, well, I'll see you later,
I will see
Tyler.
you. God, it's going to be so long. I'll see you in...
I'll miss you in this time that we're apart.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal. It's gonna be a long time apart.
All right, man. I'll see you later.
See ya.